So after the cylinder, other major component is your engine piston. So piston is the main working unit of your engine. Because of the motion of piston, all the events are taking place: suction, compression, power. So it's also most important part of engine design. Some basic considerations which you already know, just as a reminder, it should have enormous strength because combustion is taking place on top of the piston. Huge amount of power, heat, pressure is released. So in order to bear that, withstand such forces, it should be having good strength. Then it should have minimum mass to minimize the inertial forces. If the piston is heavy, more amount of work will be required to move the piston alone. No doubt the piston will produce power, but also losses will also occur because of extra weight on the piston. So we should try in such a way that the piston weight is light. But while making the piston light, it should not compromise the strength, durability, resistance to wear, tear, etc. Alright. So we should uh, consider all the factors in design in such a way that all the objectives are fulfilled. Next, when it is light, again, the to and fro motion will also be quicker. So it is heavy. It should have good sealing effect. So sealing effect means whatever heat is produced on the piston head, it should not leak from the between the walls of piston and the cylinder. And whatever lubrication we are applying, this will also remain as long as possible. So how we can ensure this is when we slide the piston inside the cylinder, because of heating and cooling, the physical deformation may occur. How? Because of thermal expansion and contraction. In winter, contraction will happen in early morning when you have not started the car for, I mean, in the previous night you have just parked. In the morning you try to start. Sometimes it is difficult to start. So in that case, the temperature goes down. Your piston may slightly contract. May not be visible to our naked eye. Again, during heating, expansion may take place. So because of this heating and cooling, contraction and expansion, the gaps between cylinder wall and piston may occur. So because of these gaps, some leakage may take place. So this type of change in its physical structure should be minimum, whatever material you are going to use. It should have sufficient bearing area to prevent wear. Means this the walls, we can say basically the curved surface area of the piston should be big enough to take the pressure coming on the piston. If the piston is, if this, the length of this piston is small, pressure will be distributed to less area. When pressure is distributed to less area, I mean, when the area is less, so pressure will automatically increase, isn't it? Because pressure is inversely related to area. So we should try to enlarge the curved surface area to distribute the pressure on the piston to a larger area. It should disperse the heat of combustion quickly to the cylinder walls. Thermal conductivity here. We are talking about thermal conductivity. That means whatever heat is being produced, it should be able to dissipate quickly. IC engine is called basically heat engine. Whatever power or torque is developed, it is developed because of heat. So whatever heat is developed, it should be able to dissipate quickly, quickly. It should make less noise, obviously. Noisy engines are not admirable, and it should have sufficient rigid construction to withstand thermal and mechanical distortion. Alright. it's the sufficient the support for piston pin. So you see here is your piston pin. Connecting rod is attached to the piston with the help of piston pin. So the piston pin should be mounted on the piston in such a way that, because some pressure will be developed on the piston pin as well. So if piston pin does not have enough support in the piston, it may break or it may get detached. So if your piston walls are too weak, so eventually your piston pin may get detached or some failure may occur, so mechanical failure. So because of that, you should have enough support for the piston pin. And how we can ensure that? By making strong, good quality valves, these piston valves, right? Now, what are some of the basic and common items, materials used for making piston? The most common one and probably the oldest one is cast iron piston. Earlier, almost all the engine, maybe we can say 99%, were using cast iron piston, most common. After that, some technological advance, then aluminum piston gain little bit popularity, 10%, 20%, 30%. After that, after some time again, 50% of the engines were using cast iron, then 50% were using aluminum piston. Eventually, aluminum has overtaken cast iron piston. So both have advantages and disadvantages. We will see. So cast iron, they are heavy. Basically, iron is heavier than aluminum. Aluminum is lighter, you might know. So you can see cast iron pistons are suitable for moderate engine speeds of less than 6 meters per second movement, the reciprocating movement. Since they're heavy, they are suitable up to for moderate engine speeds. Aluminum alloy being lighter, they can be used in highly rated engine speeds. But again, both have advantages and disadvantages. We will see. And then yes, we have also steel piston. It's not very much popular. Most popular are cast iron, aluminum piston and cast iron piston. Which one we should select based on our usage? One of the most important thing, thermal expansion. Thermal expansion of aluminum is, you see, around 2.5 times of cast iron. You see, we are using approximate data, 2.5 times. Because when we say aluminum, there are several grades of aluminum. Grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, multiple grades. Again, cast iron has also got several grades. So this data, whatever we are taking, they're just roughly average data, we can say. In some case, the thermal expansion of aluminum is around 3 times of cast iron. Alright, so this is the average data. High thermal expansion, that means it changes its shape and size more than iron, 2.5 times that of iron on heating and cooling. Therefore, a greater clearance must be provided between the piston and cylinder walls. You see, this clearance. Because when heat will develop here, this will expand. If there is no proper clearance, there will be the gap between this will close. There will be restriction in movement. Engine seizing may take place. Engine seizing because of less space, no clearance for movement of piston. Engine seizing also takes place because of not having lubrication. Since there are no lubrication between these two, because if you see through naked eye, it appears like almost there is no gap, but there are gaps. So lubrication also takes place between these walls. So if there is no proper lubrication, eventually you keep on running the machine, rusting may also take place. So because of less lubrication or no lubrication, in that case also engine seizing occurs. So what is the problem here? When we are continuously running the engine for a long period of time, in that case, damage which will occur because of overheating, because of expansion, the damage may be permanent damage, irreparable. So in such case, we have to completely change the engine block. So it's very expensive. So we should make sure, though aluminum can use in high speed because of its lightweight in nature, but overexposure to the maximum limit, running continuously for several hours, so overheating may occur. So once overheating occurs, whatever damage is caused, damage may be permanent, irreparable. Alright. Next is thermal conductivity. Aluminum alloys used for piston have high heat conductivity, nearly 4 times of cast iron. It means the rate of heat transfer is high in aluminum. One more thing, if you can see this picture, heat is center on the face of the piston, and on the edges or on the sides, normally the heat is less compared to center. So you see, in cast iron, in center it is around 425 to 450 degree, whereas in edge it's around 200. So difference in temperature between the center and edge is 200 degrees Celsius. See, this is not the maximum. At a certain speed, at a certain condition, it was noted that in cast iron, the temperature of the piston center is 400, around 400 degrees Celsius, and at the same time, on the edges it was found to be 200. So difference is around 200. This much difference is there, 200. In case of aluminum, you see, when the heat was around 250, 260, in the edges it was around 185 to 250, around 200. So hardly 60-70 difference. That means heat transfer is very rapid in aluminum. So because of this, what is the greatest advantage? It can cool rapidly, it can dissipate the heat rapidly. Because of this, we can design engine having high compression ratio. So what is compression ratio? It is a ratio of volume, is not it? When the piston is at BDC to TDC, how much compression it makes. So when we have high compression ratio, power output is more, torque output is more. Generally, diesel engine has higher compression ratio than petrol engine, isn't it? Diesel engine is around 22 is to 1, 20 is to 1. For petrol, it is around 8 is to 1, 6 is to 1, 10 is to 1. Almost double, or some just more than double in diesel engine. So, if we use aluminum alloys, we can enhance our heat will be produced. We can increase the compression ratio. Now again, weight. Aluminum alloys are about 3 times lighter than cast iron. So being light has got advantages, but it has also got some disadvantages. You see, its mechanical strength is good at low temperature, but they lose their strength by about 50% at temperature above 325 degrees Celsius. You see, if we operate at high temperature, their strength is reducing, so it is not good. But this is not the case in case of cast iron. There may be some reduction, but not so much rapid reduction, 50%. So reducing the strength by 50% is a huge reduction at temperature above 325 degrees Celsius only. So it is very low temperature considering engine combustion. CI engine blocks make less vibration and noise because they are heavier, so their vibration and noise is also less. You can compare the density. Density is also more than 2 times, I think. Density of cast iron is 7200. More than 2 times, comfortably more than two times, almost 3 times. CI pistons are unsuitable for high speed engine due to their weight, but they have greater strength and resistance to wear. This is also very important. Though they are heavier iron piston in engines, they have greater resistance to wear. They have more strength. You see, these both are same engine. This is aluminum engine. though they are very, very light, they are not having good strength. But in order to increase their strength, what they have done, they've added this reinforcement. You can see these red marks. These red marks are not functional for design. They are actually just reinforcement, giving extra strength to your engine block. Similarly, suppose this is your piston. This is the place for your piston pin. So if the surrounding wall of piston pin is not strong, your piston pin may fail while working. Therefore, we have this point. It should have sufficient support for piston pin. This support should be good enough. Alright, so some reinforcement may also be given in this area. So giving this reinforcement will incur more weight, more cost. Again, in terms of economics, if you see, cast iron is cheaper than aluminum. So when we compare average aluminum engine block versus iron block, let us see, we are comparing weight. Though aluminum is 3 times lighter, we will see how it turns out in actual scenario. This is an engine, inline 4-cylinder engine. Inline means, you see, these are all inline, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are all in straight line. So this is inline 6-cylinder engine. Inline 6-cylinder engine, all right. But in this case, we are inline 4-cylinder engine, 19 kg. This is aluminum. In case of iron engine, it is 34 kg, almost 2 times, less than 2 times, but almost 2 times. So though aluminum are 3 times lighter, but when we finally build the engine, it may not be 2 times lighter because some additional reinforcement were provided. V6 engine. V6 means your piston is shaped in the shape, they are adjusted in the shape of V. You see, this is line, single, all are parallel to each other. In this case, V shape. That means one piston will act like this and the other one will act like this. Similarly, there will be 3 more V. Then total we have V6. V6 engine 31 kg. Same V6 engine of iron block is 47 kg. So again, this is not double, very close. V8 40 kg, 56 kg. So again, not even 2 times. So therefore, not necessarily, even if aluminums are very or 3 times lighter, when we finally make the engine, they may not be 3 times lighter because their strength is less. So in order to increase their strength, we are using or we are employing more amount of aluminum. So more amount of aluminum you use, it may become costlier also. Alright, so we have to balance. But being lighter, it helps in other way. We can get quick acceleration. Your engine will be light. You will require less fuel. So these are also some advantages when your engines are lighter. Now, this regarding this repair and maintenance, aluminum engine blocks. Here we are talking about engine blocks, not piston. Aluminum engine blocks are easier to repair. They're less complex compared to cast iron engine. For cast iron engine, repairing is difficult, complex, plus the success rate is also very less. But for aluminum, it is so easy that even unskilled people are also nowadays making aluminum utensil. If you remember, there is one very popular utensil made in Mizoram, available in the market. So that is also made of recycled aluminum. So this is the ease of repair of aluminum items. But again, when we have to do reboring, we have to completely rebuild. In such cases, CI engine blocks are cheaper and easier. And it may not be possible for aluminum ones. Why? Because in order to protect the aluminum walls, we use liners. Here between the piston and this cylinder, we use liners in the form of sleeve, just like a bushing. Why we use this bushing? So that in case if there is wear and tear, the liner will take all the wear and tear, so that later on we can just replace the liner. So in aluminum engines we use mostly liners because aluminum are weak in mechanical strength, so we use iron liners, cast iron liners. So they are, so engines having such liners, they are difficult to be repaired. All right, so in short, if we compare engine made of aluminum versus engine made of iron, you can see aluminum is lighter, much lighter, so we can have more fuel efficiency, better acceleration, quick acceleration. Iron ability to take more boost. That means you might have heard about nitro. There is some like we against each other using some cars. So in there we can artificially increase the performance of the engine by using some additives. Nowadays turbocharger, superchargers are coming up. So what they do, they enhance the performance of the engine artificially by supplying more fuel or by supplying heated air, hot air. In such case, what happens? The temperature within the engine rises. So it means your engine performance is boost. So in such case, what happens? There is more heat. So because of that, mechanical failure, mechanical distortion, strength may fail, which is more prone in aluminum. But iron engines, they're being stronger, they have the capacity to withstand such additional heat. Alright, so repairing is easier in aluminum, minor cracks, but for major rebuilding, major repair, iron ones are easier. Right. Resistance to abuse or overheating. Because of high thermal expansion and contraction, aluminum cannot be used for a long time under heavy load, but iron can be used for a longer time under heavy loads. Alright, fuel efficiency better in aluminum. Why? Because they are lighter, they are heavier, they take more fuel. Alright. Maximum compression potential. Since they have high thermal conductivity, that means they can dissipate the heat faster. No matter huge amount of heat may be developed for a during the power stroke, but they can easily quickly dissipate it. Because of that ability, the compression ratio can be increased. Alright, the potential, they have higher potential to increase compression ratio. But at the same time, for a long period of time, if we are using high compression, then again overheating may occur, which is again not favorable for aluminum. So we have to be careful. We have to use, if we think that we are using high compression ratio, but for a short time, so in such cases we can use aluminum. Noise and vibration is better in iron because they're heavier, they create less vibration. Alright, so these are basic differences. In brief, if you see the difference between aluminum and iron engine blocks.